Hey guys, what's going on? Joe Mills here for you today. I am so excited to bring you part 1 of the estimating video. This video is all about doing a full-scale 1-year maintenance contract for a residential home. Now, in the last video where everyone said that I should do this video, if you haven't checked it out, it's RSG vlog something. I'll put a card up here or something like that. I was like, I don't know what type of property I should do. So I did a poll on Instagram. 14 to 8 wanted a residential property compared to a commercial. So I've got this cool residential property pulled up in my hometown. I think it's going to be a great example. Come on, let's go check it out. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Let's landscape together. What I'm going to do now is measure the property, and I'll get back with you guys once I've done that. Alright guys, so Joe here for you. Welcome back. I have taken the GoIlon program, and I have taken our property, and I have measured it out for the scope of work that I had selected. To go ahead and reiterate the scope of work before we go over how I got the measurements, I printed up everything on an estimating sheet right here that I'll be going over with y'all shortly. But to read off the scope of work, we have our regular mowing visit, which is mowing, trimming around obstacles that the mower could not reach, edging of hard surfaces and occasionally edging the beds, and blowing off all hard surfaces. We have aerate and overseed once in the fall. We have a fertilizer plan that has 4 applications. We're mulching at one point in the year, usually in the spring, with an application of double shredded hardwood mulch in the amount of about 1.5 inch depth. We're going to shear shrubs twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall if it needs it. We're going to hand prune twice a year. We're going to be hand pulling weeds in the beds each mowing visit. We're going to be doing crack weeds in the driveway and the sidewalk and around in the backyard if there's any hard surfaces. We're doing that each mowing visit. We're going to be doing a liquid application of turf weed control 4 times a year in conjunction with the fertilizer plan. We're going to be pruning trees once a year. We're going to be doing leaf removal 2 times during the season. And we're going to be hard edging, like I said, every other mowing visit, and soft edging as needed. So that's gonna be our scope. And right now what we're going to do is I'm going to go over basically how I got the tangibles, which is basically anything that you can measure. So right here we have our GoIlon program. If you guys aren't familiar with GoIlon, GoIlon is basically a software that's based off satellite images, and you look up your property, and then you can get all your measurements for turf, beds, edging, counting plants, all your takeoffs. You can get all of that from this software. Now, in conjunction with this software, I utilize a few more options. So, the way I picked this house was I went for my hometown, and I looked on recent real estate listings. So I picked a house that's on the market. So this house is on the market right now. So this is it on Zillow. So this is the front of it on Zillow, so you can see all the evergreen shrubs and everything, and this is the front. And then this is our backyard here. So if we go back to GoIlon, we're looking at it from actually this corner right here. This corner is where this photo has been taken. So this is our backyard here. So you can see the shrub that's kind of pruned up against the house. GoIlon, that's right here. And then obviously you can see the wide spread of evergreens is visible from the deck. But these are the only 3 landscaping pictures that Zillow has. So this is very recent, depending on the listing on Zillow. I wouldn't totally rely on this, but if the house is on the market, this could be a good resource to use. I also use Google Maps, and this is the house right now in Street View. So let's move up a little bit. So here's the front of the house. As you guys may notice, let me tilt the screen a little bit more. Here's the front of the house. So we have a bunch of shrubs right here up front that are going to need to be hand pruned. We have what looks to be a dogwood or maybe a crab apple sitting in the front yard here. And then on the side here, we have a couple more evergreen shrubs and a couple more trees. That looks like a holly right there, and that could be a Chamaecyparis or something like that up against it. Now this is a little deceiving because you think the property line is right along here. The great thing about GoIlon is that you can go in and you get your property line. So the yellow line right here is actually your property line. So you can see that we butt up against the neighbor's back mulch bed, but then go all the way out. So in reality, the neighbor is actually responsible for taking care of this patch of grass right here, like up and then curving back like that. Let me take care of this a little bit. But because we know that the customer's probably going to want it, we're going to edge at least all the way up here. Again, that would be another thing to discuss on a site visit with your customer. But yeah, well, I've been looking around and using all of these sites, and I've also been using Google Earth. Google Earth is another great website to use. The 3D is very nice. It can take a little bit to get used to if you aren't used to it. But this is pretty helpful for zooming in, and really what I've been trying to do is trying to get a better idea of the backyard, but you have such a thick tree cover right here, this would be something to figure out when you're on site. So anyway, so I utilize Google Earth and Google Maps, and if we go back, Google Maps is again quite similar to Google Earth. That you can zoom in and take 3D looks at everything, and this is helpful because I didn't think there was going to be grass on this side, but there's grass right here, and looks like it's going to be kind of difficult for us to get there with our big mower, but it looks like there's a gate right here so we can get in here with the 36-inch mower and go back and forth real quick. Again, that'd be something to clear up on a site visit, because maybe there's not a gate right there. Maybe I totally got that wrong, and you have to do that with a 21. Again, all of this is kind of hard for me to do, I wouldn't say like correctly, because I can do it correctly, but a lot of it does depend on the site visit. So just doing what I can with what I have. So some people have said they like using Yahoo Maps too. I don't know. I don't really like the platform as well. But this seems to work out pretty well. But anyway, we'll go back to GoIlon here, and I'll show you guys what makes this lawn program so special. So if you go in and you get your property map, you can go and look in here on the side. And let me zoom in on the side here for you guys. Alright, so you can see my different measurements here on the side, and this can really set you apart from the competition, because I know that Google Earth lets you measure distance and things like that, and area, but once you log your measurement, you have to erase it in order to continue on and do the next one. This lets you leave everything up, so you can see what you measured and what you haven't measured. So my categories here on the side, we have a 48-inch mower turf. That's measuring what a 48-inch mower would cut. So for reference, that's this here is what I'm saying, and a little bit right here, the 48-inch mower would cut. And then I have the 36 down here, cutting all this stuff in here. I also have my and to be more clear, guys, this measures the entire square footage. So if I go in here and click on this polygon, you can see it's labeled 36-inch mower turf. 2,590.8 square feet. So that's how much square feet I've measured back there. So if we zoom out a little bit, we have different other categories on here. We have mulch and we have hard edging, which the mulch is all the bed measurements in here that I've measured off. Hard edging is the steel edging, so that's a linear distance along the driveway and along the sidewalk here. This, I'll show you guys a little bit of what it's like to use this. So say I wanted to get the edging for something, right? Okay, so I wanted to do the edging. So let me go in here and just say, okay, let's add to this edging line. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the hard edging tab on your left side, and we'll open it just like that. So now we can start editing, and I'll click on the distance thing right here. And what I'll do is I'll select the point, so about right here. And see, it's going to drag behind me just like that. So to keep with the curve, I'll do a little point here. And then once you want to end your segment, you just double click. So boom. have a little edging measured in. And then I can go back to mouse, put a check mark on that, and then I can click on it, and boom, there's our hard edging, 8.09 feet. Now imagine the time it would take you to measure that out with a wheel on site. Comparatively, you just do, what, 3 clicks and you're done? That's why this software is so useful, because you can save so much time on site. You can focus on all the factors that may limit you. You don't have to worry about your measurements, because you can do that all on the computer. Alright. Again, this would be something to figure out if you actually have to do this if you're on site. I don't know. It's outside the property line, so I can select it. I'm not going to keep it. And then that's as easy as that, guys. You can just delete shape. Yes, shape is gone. Okay, we're good again. Alright, so you've seen that, and then to measure for mulch or for turf, any kind of area, it's the exact same thing. You can see I've measured everything from deciduous trees and evergreen trees to sheared shrubs and hand pruned shrubs. You can go in and add a new group. Say I have like a 60-inch rider, so I'll go in and type in 60-inch turf. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So then what that does is that goes in right now, and that creates a new label on the side here. And then let's say, I don't know, let's just say we're going to put a 60-inch mower right here. You know? I don't know. Let's just say we're going to do it. So then we're going to go over here to the area button right here. Sorry, I'm just going to swing you guys around. We're going to go over here to area. We're going to select this. So it's the exact same principle of when you drag and drop the points to get your edging. So, but this time it measures area. So it's a little bit different. So we're going to start on our first point. We're going to drag it. And we're going to keep on dragging out. And then eventually you can just start to go faster, because you're just kind of used to the software. So boom, I have my 60-inch mower right there. Close it up. Okay. Now, according to the software, right down here, 95 square feet. This little bit right here for the 60-inch mower. Now obviously, again, something to figure out on the site visit if you're actually going to do that or not. We're not going to keep this shape, but this is just to demonstrate for you guys how easy it is to create these areas. So if I go back, you're like, nope, I'm actually not going to put this on a 60-inch turf. You know what I'm going to do? I want the 48-inch mower to do this. Well, boom, look at that. Then you can change the category. You know what? Actually, I want the 36 to do it. Boom, switched right there. Perfect. Actually, I lied. I do want the 60-inch mower to do it. There we go. It's perfect. That's one feature I really like. You know what? Let's put a mulch bed there. Boom. It's going to be mulch. Back to 60. Okay. And then you can delete it as such by clicking right here. Another thing that I think is really helpful is when you're measuring turf lawns and you have, say, like a tree ring in the middle. What you can do is you can go in and say, okay, I have the 60-inch turf, and I'm going to go and I'm going to mow the driveway, right? So we're going to go and boom, boom, boom. There we go. There's our area. Let's say there's a tree ring in the middle. And you would think, oh, well, I should have clicked around the tree ring. Like, say there's another tree ring here. Well, I probably should have done something like this. Like that, right? I don't know. See, like that, you're just trying to get around the tree ring there, and it's not going to work out. Like, it's going to look like a stupid shape like that. So, save yourself the hassle. Don't do that. What you want to do is you want to edit your polygon. And you can go right here to cut out area. Now you're in a different mode. Say you have a tree ring in the middle. Boom. Get a circle like that. Figure out what your tree ring size is. Boom. It's cut out. And then you hit stop. Boom. Look, there's your tree ring in the middle. It's not measuring that. Or say you have a little patch of grass, or you have a perennial bed in like a middle island perennial bed, something like that. So boom, you cut out the area. So you go to the area shape. and then boom, it's going to cut it out for you. So look at that. There's your perennial bed, there's your tree ring, it's cut out for you. Now you don't have to go and try to figure out, oh man, I got to do all these little dots and stuff around it. You can just cut it out like that, really super easy. And again, it's the same sort of thing. You can change it up if you want to. We're just going to go ahead and delete that shape real quick. And then that's easy to get your bed edges and your mulch numbers off that, because you already have a preformed shape in the middle, and you can tell where you've gotten your numbers from and such. And so I've gone along here and I've roughed out the mulch beds, and it's sometimes a little hard to see on this monitor here, so sometimes it's hard to see off GoIlon. So that's why I rely on stuff like Google Maps and Google Earth and this footage from Zillow in order to accurately get a representation of what I'm looking at. And that's why a site visit will also be so super helpful. But again, not possible at this time. By utilizing Google Maps and Street View, I was actually able to figure out all the shrubs in the front and whether or not I wanted to hand prune or shear. This just sort of comes with experience, but you can kind of tell that these are Nandina right here, and you want to hand prune Nandina. I'm taking a guess that these are probably boxwoods, or they might be Japanese hollies, something like that. Again, you would want to hand prune these. You might shear it in the beginning of the year to get the shape, but generally hand pruning is a better idea. These are autoleucon cherry laurels in the back. That's a pretty strict hand prune, whereas if we zoom out a little bit and go over back here, that looks like a spirea, and you can generally trim that up with a shear in the beginning of the year and then hit it hand pruning on the end. A holly tree like this, you don't want to hit it with a shear. That's a strict prune. But again, we'll hit that in the winter time in our one pier, our prune zone. But I also noticed if we go back down into Street View, if we go from like right here, this will be a little difficult. I might have to zoom back a little bit. Playing with Street View is interesting, so you definitely have to sort of get used to it. Okay. There's this huge shrub on the front here. I think that's a either a golden gem cypress or golden gem something. I can't remember the specific cultivar for the life of me, but I know that if that's that particular one, you can shear that and you're fine. Looks like there's some either hollies or arborvitae given the height behind it, and that's a strict hand prune. And again, it's like a dogwood or a crabapple on the front here. So I was able to go into GoIlon and basically map out where all the shrubs were and what their designation was. So you can see like these two right here is a hand prune, here's a shear, here's evergreen trees, here's all my hand pruning I have to do, my shearing and more trees. And then if we go into the back, there's a shear option right here for this guy. You typically shear this guy. I'm not even going to go into a whole right plant, right place, because I think that's a burning bush, and that's a terrible spot for a burning bush right there. But again, that's just going off based of what I think. And then you can also see in this picture there's a shrub right here with another bed. I'm thinking there's going to be at least 2 shrubs there, so I noted that on here. And then you can also see right here, if you look close at the screen, that looks like oak leaves, an oak tree right here. And so I've noted that right here. So I've basically gone in and measured the turf, which is everything outlined in green. All the mulch is orange. And then your soft edge, which is your soft bed edge, is outlined in light blue. So that's all that right there. And your hard edge is a pink line that's right along in here up on the driveway. So you have all those categories, and then I'm counting all the shrubs. This can be useful if you have a shrub production rate. Like if you know you have to hand prune a shrub and it's going to take you 5 minutes, you can just count up all the shrubs you have. There's different views over here on this sidebar right here. So we're in the low view right now, which is really helpful to measure in, because you can actually get pretty close down in and see things. definitely, if you guys use GoEyeLon for measuring, use a mouse. I hate using the computer mouse. I'd rather have a self-contained mouse that I can just pull from. Then we can go to medium view. And what medium view does, as you can see, is it just pulls farther out, so you can start to see the whole cul-de-sac. You can't zoom as far in, things are a little more blurry. And then if you go to high, it's really far out. And then you can look at the whole area around it. Here's the whole neighborhood. So we'll zoom back in here, and see, if you zoom too far in and high, it doesn't show anything. So you have to go all the way to low. And see, if you go back into low, you can see it. Alright guys, my last favorite feature on GoEyeLon I really wanted to show you was this. So we already explored low, medium, and high, the different viewpoints here. But if you go low north, actually we'll go medium north first. Check this out. You're in a 3D view. Very similar to Google Maps, except all your measurements show up as well. If we do medium south, boom, it's like a bird's eye view. It's pretty cool. You can zoom in here. Here's all your measurements in your house. Now let's do low north. That's pretty cool, right? How about low south? Yeah, that's what I like to see. So boom, look at that. You can zoom right in. You can look at your front bed there. Whoop-de-woo. And you guys may be like, whoa, you really way undermeasured that bed. It's okay, because your measurements do shift when you go into this mode. You can't actually measure in this mode. So as you can see, I know my mulch bed is right up next to the driveway. It shifted far over. Same thing with this grass patch. So that's just something to be aware of. Don't freak out. Your measurements didn't really move. It's just the view is offsetting it. So if we go back to the low mode, you can see all our measurements have reset. Boom, you can look at this mulch bed. Yep, I'm okay. So see, we're actually alright. So it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited for you guys to see the next portion of the video. But with that, guys, I got to end it here. Thank you all for sticking around. If you've gotten this far, I appreciate it. I can't wait for you guys to see how I'm actually going to bid 8295 Elm Shade Court. Alright guys, and with that, I do have to say goodbye. Thanks y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's landscape together.